Hey guys, it's Miss Alicia back with another video. I'm a spiritual wellness mindset coach, helping you guys who struggle with forgiveness and the negative impact of starting over. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a behavioral specialist. I'm a woman who dealt with unforgiveness in her heart, and the Lord delivered me. Okay? Today, I want to know, did they really mean it? Do you really mean it? Miss Alicia, what you talking about today? Do we really mean it? Well, many of you are expecting someone to come and make their wrongs right. Many of you are preparing to go to someone to make your wrongs right. You might be having trouble wondering, what does that look like? What is that supposed to feel like? Well, that's why I'm here, to give you some knowledge, to give you some guidance. But at the end of all of this conversation, you have to make the decision, okay? I just guide you. I just coach you. Now, the first word is sorry. Sorry means regretful, remorseful, ashamed, afraid, guilty, rueful. Rueful means to express regret or sorrow, especially in a humorous way, followed with a grin or smirk or an undertone. Sorry is a quick fix. It's above the surface, okay? So you ever heard somebody say, "Well, I'm sorry," but you, and you looking like, okay, my mind hear you say that you're sorry, but you got some extras along with that, and now you're confusing me. I don't know if this is genuine. How come people can't just say, "I'm sorry," and leave it at that, cut it, end it? You understand? Sorry is universal. As we were growing up, that was the main word that many of us used. And when we got in trouble, we did something wrong, our elder, our parent would say, "You know what? Say you sorry." You knew you weren't going outside. You weren't going to get to do nothing. Nothing was going to happen until you said you were sorry. So the word sorry, you kind of feel like you were forced. You understand? In order for you to be able to move past it, you had to say you were sorry. But it was above the surface. Okay? The next word is apologize. Apologize is like the next level up, the next grade up. Apologize means to express regret. Express regret. You hear me? Express regret for something that one has done wrong. Now, usually that manifests itself through someone coming to you humble, begging, asking for forgiveness, or ready to eat their words. You ever heard somebody say, "You know what? The way you talking to me, the way you treat me, one day you going to eat them words." And guess what? They tend to come back ready. "Yeah, I know what I said. I know. I know. I eat that. I eat that." Right? Last but not least, you have the word repentant. Now, repentant comes from within. Repentant heart is what helped me be able to forgive and move forward. I did it for me. It was a feeling from within. Repentant means expressing or feeling, expressing or a feeling of sincere regret, remorseful, ashamed, shamefaced, embarrassment. Okay? And that is usually triggered by an epiphany. Or maybe the Lord has placed someone in their life or your life to speak a word into you that may have caused conviction. Or it could have come through meditation and the Lord revealed it to you in your quiet time. Or through prayer and fasting, and the Lord has told you that there's something that you need to fix, meaning make your wrongs right. Yeah, think about that. You know me, I'm not going to rush. I was put here to speak to you and take my time because you need to think. Because dealing with forgiveness is not easy, okay? It's so many of us that are dealing with different types of issues that require unforgiveness and to go to somebody and apologize. I want to share a story with you. Now, this is repentant, okay? So don't judge me now. I'm sharing this story with y'all because it's going to help you, all right? I'm not like this anymore, okay? I'm not like this. Even when whatever I'm about to tell you, I still was no bad person. But this is something I did. I was young, okay? All right. So in grade school, me and a friend of mine, we saw that there was a new kid that came to school. It was a young guy. He was handsome, okay? And we just wanted to hang out with him. We wanted to talk to him. But he wasn't trying to give us the time of day. And we found that he had a sister. So, us being silly, we started trying to hang out with her because she really wasn't hanging out with anybody. But we was hanging out with her because we wanted to get close to her brother, to get to know him. But she wasn't introducing us, okay? And we didn't know why. We found out much later, but we didn't know why. So, being kids, we stopped talking to her. Now, I done went on with my life. I can't even tell you the rest of that story. But I do know that years later, grown woman, family now, I was at church and I heard a sermon. And the pastor was talking about if there was anybody that had done wrong to someone else, that they needed to go and make their wrongs right. They needed to apologize. They needed to say they were sorry. So, of course, I'm sitting here thinking, like, don't know nobody. I did. And you know God, he got away with providing information that you can't remember. And this person's name popped up. And I'm like, that was a long time ago. And God was just putting in my heart that it don't matter. You need to apologize. So I'm thinking to myself after I left church, I don't know no way to get a hold of him. And God was like, oh, yes, you do. So God allowed me to be able to get a hold of somebody that was related to them. And I got that number from that person and got this person's phone number. So I said a prayer. And like I said again, y'all, I'm nothing like that. I wouldn't do nothing like that. But kids, we do silly things. But even as kids, you can hurt people. And it can last into adulthood. Okay? And so I said a prayer. I made the call. The person answered the phone. And I said who I was. And they were shocked. Okay? And I was telling them that a Christian, that I heard a sermon today at church and that their name popped up and I wanted to apologize. And I was like, I don't even know if you remember this, but I'm going to apologize. And they was really quiet on the phone. And I was like, hello, you there? And they were like, yeah, but they were quiet. I'm not sure if they were crying, but I know they were having a deep moment, right? And then they said they remembered. And they said that I really did hurt them. We hurt that person. And I just gave the deepest apology. And I just kept saying I was sorry. And she told me that she appreciated that I called her and apologized. And she said, there's been times that I've seen you and I went the other way. And y'all just don't know. That was embarrassing to me. That made me feel bad. That was a conviction to me. And I just kept saying I was sorry more. And then she let me know that she forgave me, okay? And I said, okay now. I said, so when you see me now, don't go the other way. You say hi to me. And she was like, okay, And I got off the phone. And you know what? That was a burden that I had on me that I didn't know I had. But God was pleased with me. And you wouldn't imagine, but there was just seemed like great things started happening. Good things started happening. I mean, I was already having good things, but it just seemed like more enlightenment, just blessing after blessing started happening for me. Isn't that something? You sitting there asking God to forgive you and asking people to forgive you for something you really didn't remember, but God brought it back to you, your remembrance. So I want you to think about that today. The word sorry, the word apology, apologize, the word repentant. You'll be able to make a good decision. You'll be able to accept with using these words. Now remember, I also want to say the word sorry also is universal, like I said, right? So sometimes people are not familiar with using apology, but it doesn't mean that they don't mean it. But I still wanted you to know these words in case you need to use them, in case you need to know the difference. I'll talk to you soon, okay? God bless you guys.